I've been living like this for nearly 100 days. Yeah, not great. So it's finally time to change that. The area at spawn is nice, however, it's a little bit too small for what I want to achieve in this world. So I need to scout out a new area where I can finally spread my wings a bit. In order to find a new area, I'm gonna build my first Create Aeronautics aircraft, a helicopter that I've dubbed the Dragonfly. This will allow me to fly around and find the perfect place to set up shop and truly get started in this world. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let's jump right into the video. Alright everybody, welcome back to Create Aeronautics. In the previous episode, we built the mining machine. Of course, it starts raining. In between episodes, I have been mining a ton. So the tunnel that I've been digging goes down pretty far. Now, because of the mining machine's sort of form factor, I can't go much further than that. You can't dig at too deep of an angle, so it does go down quite a ways in this direction, and then later on it turns back around. So we go about 30 blocks down here, and this area here, I was gonna keep digging a little bit further, however, there is an ocean at the other side of this wall. And then I was gonna dig in this direction, and the ocean's there as well. So I decided to just kind of double back here and head back down. There's a pretty big open cave here. I didn't actually get a chance to explore it or anything. Then we keep going down further and further in this direction. I am using free cam just because it's a little bit faster. And yeah, here is where I've sort of ended up so far. It's a pretty big cave down here. It's also at Y16, which is the perfect level for getting iron. I would like to dig a little bit deeper. However, I feel like there's not much of a point if we're going to be moving bases. But of course, the main reason we were mining is for resources. And let me tell you, we got a lot of resources. So my backpack's full. We have a few double chests full here as well. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of stuff that we've mined. Sadly, no diamonds yet. However, once we get down to the deeper levels, we will definitely get there. So to start this episode off, what I want to do is to build basically an automatic lava refilling station, because the Dragonfly as well as the mining board, they both require a ton of lava, and I really don't like moving back and forth between the nether just to grab lava. This also means that I'm gonna need to find some dripstone. It looks like we've been to a dripstone cave before, but I don't have any pointed dripstone, so I'm gonna have to go out and search for some of that. So I'm gonna have to go back down underground and try to find a dripstone cave. By the way, while I'm waiting for some iron to cook up, I've been working on updating the mod pack and adding a few new mods. The first one, and probably the most notable and easy to see, is that we do have the Distant Horizons mod in now. Oh yeah, we can see the entire world. I let it generate last night for about an hour and a half, so the area around us is loaded in now, and we can see just a little bit further now. I've also added the Easy Villagers mod, just so that we don't have to deal with the pain of vanilla villagers. I added Create Copycats Plus, just for some additional copycat blocks. It definitely makes building these machines a lot easier, and you can make them look a little bit cooler. We also have the Mech Trowel mod installed, which is basically a trowel. It lets you sort of just place randomized blocks. You can do all sorts of pretty nifty things with the trowel mod, and I'm sure we'll get into that pretty soon, especially while we're building our base. And I also decided to add the vanilla backport mod. That mod basically adds the updates from vanilla Minecraft and backports them into the version that I'm currently on, which is 1.21.1. So 1.21.1 is the Tricky Trials update. But with the backport mod, we also have Bundles of Bravery, The Garden Awakes, Spring to Life, and Chase the Skies. Copper Age, Mounts of Mayhem, Tiny Takeover, and Chaos Cubed, they're all in development still. Hopefully we can get those in the world pretty soon as well. That would be pretty fun. And of course, I've just been updating the Create mod and Create Aeronautics and everything as they get updated as well. It's definitely fixed a ton of bugs that I've experienced so far. You know, I don't know why I'm looking for one manually. I can actually just use the Nature's Compass. So let's look for, not drop, but Dripstone Cave. Here we go. Hopefully there's one pretty close by. 1600 blocks, huh. I'm curious how I got that dripstone block before, because that's pretty far away. Alright, I found the area where the dripstone cave should be, so let's get digging. Alright, this is where it should be. Ah, here we go. It seems pretty bare bones, though. I think we can make more dripstone later on, though. Ooh, what's this? Galena. Interesting. Yeah, if we just use water, we can make some more dripstone, so it shouldn't be too bad. We definitely need the blocks as well, though. Ah, here we go. There's a lot more in this area. Yeah, not too bad. We should have enough to be able to at least get started with what we need to do today. Alright, so we're going to make a couple of these dripstone farms. One for more dripstone, and then one for producing lava. So I'm going to build up, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I think on the 6th one, this is the one that we'll be keeping. Below this block is where the dripstone will grow. So we'll do let's do a 9x9. 1, 2. Then around the edge here, we'll just make a little ledge. And that will actually keep the water inside. Whoops. And now we just need to fill in the edges with water. And it should fill here. If we go like that, we can grab a little bit more and just kind of fill the entire thing in. I don't think it technically needs to be all filled in. I think it can have flowing water here, but we're just going to fill it all in. And now on the underside, we just put some of our pointed dripstone, and that will begin to work here. Nice. So you'll know that it's working when it has water drops dropping down. Now these grow pretty slowly, so it's going to take a while for this to actually kind of recover what we've used for this. But this is in spawn, so it should be in the spawn chunks, meaning that it's going to keep on growing no matter where we are in the world. Next up, we're going to need lava for the lava one, of course. And we do need a source block for every single dripstone, which means that I'm going to be running back and forth between the nether quite often for this. So right next to my water dripstone farm, I'm just going to basically repeat the same design. We'll do a 5x5 for this as well. I'm not entirely sure if we have enough, but it might be enough. So we fill in the pointed dripstone the same as we did with the the water side. And now we just need to fill in this basin with lava source blocks. And like I said, it does have to be a source block on every one. It will flow over and you will see particles on some of these other ones, but it has to have the actual source block above it in order to generate lava. And now we need a ton of iron because we need to make cauldrons, that's not how you make them. Here we go. Yeah, so I can make 6 right now. And beneath the pointed dripstone where we have our source blocks, oh, we have our first pointed dripstone, nice. We can put these down here. So these first 4 will produce lava. Any of the other ones are not going to fill up yet, but that should be fine. So I'm going to need a lot more iron in order to finish this project. And while using the mining machine, I actually found a ton of this crimsite. Now crimsite's actually pretty cool because if you crush it in the crushing wheels, you actually can get iron from it. You have a 40% chance to get the crushed raw iron and a 40% chance to just get a single iron nugget. So it's not guaranteed, but it is a ton of iron considering how many blocks of crimsite you actually get. So I'm gonna make some more crushing wheels at our thing here, our mechanical crafters. Oops, that's wrong. Here we go. And man, I forgot how slow this thing is. We definitely need to speed this up in the future. We'll probably have a super speeded one as soon as we build the base. This is so slow. Alright, so we're gonna do a pretty dummy easy build for this. Of course, all of our stuff here is gonna be moved here soon in the future as well. So we don't really need to make too permanent of solutions here. So basically with these crushing wheels, we haven't really covered this yet. These will allow you to crush up certain items like cobblestone will actually get turned into gravel. Gravel can be turned into sand, etc, etc. They're definitely useful. You definitely need a pair of these in your create setup. So crushing wheels are pretty cool. They have an input at the top like this, and an output at the bottom, not right there, but right here. So all of the action happens right in between here. So if we put a barrel at the top, one at the bottom, and we just have chutes running through, these will just pass the items through quickly. So the crushing wheels need to be spinning towards the center, I do believe. Or at the very least, they need to be spinning in the opposite direction of each other. So this might get a little bit complicated here. I think if we just have a gearbox here, and here we have a shaft in the middle, and we can go ahead and I think we want to power it from the back here on just one side of it. And this one water wheel probably isn't going to be good enough to power this entire thing, but we'll see. Surprisingly, it did. However, it's spinning in the wrong direction, but that should be fine. But yeah, it looks like they're spinning towards the center, which is good. It's probably not fast enough to do this very quickly, but let's grab some crimsite here and give it a quick test. So I'll put the stack in here. You can definitely hear it's working. And slowly over time, I think it processes 16 items at a time, I want to say. I could be wrong on that, though. Eventually, though, it should begin to fill this barrel up with iron and iron nuggets. Okay, so it looks like it did 10 of them, maybe? Maybe 12, and a couple of them didn't have anything. But yeah, we got some more crushed raw iron and some iron nuggets. Nice. So this thing is definitely working. It is a little bit slow though, but we can definitely speed it up a little bit as well. And by the way, this crushed raw iron works exactly like regular raw iron in that you can smelt it down and you'll get an iron ingot from it. All right, so I'm gonna take some time now to finish up the lava farm, and then we'll come back in just a little while. Alright, so all of the lava as well as all of the cauldrons are in place now. Now it's time to make this into a create farm. And by that I mean basically putting all the lava into a single tank for easy access. Man, it has been raining here a lot recently. When I find a new area, I might find a savanna or somewhere else without rain, because it's getting a little bit ridiculous. So what we want to do now is just dig out underneath the cauldrons. It only needs to be one layer, but I am big, so I need to have 2 spaces here. Then we just go ahead and make sure that they're all hooked up with pipes. Okay, so I'm having a pretty weird crash here. The thing that was happening, which is really weird, is the cauldrons that were already filled with lava. As soon as I put a pipe underneath of it, I think it was probably looking for maybe a place for it to end up. Oh, we crashed again, I think. Okay, so I think I found a workaround. Okay, I think we got it all. Basically, you just need to empty all the cauldrons, block the lava from going inside, and then just right-clicking the pipes onto dirt instead of other pipes or the cauldron. You probably shouldn't experience this issue. This is probably just from my very cobbled together mod pack and the very, very random list of mods that I have. So hopefully when these fill up, that's not going to crash. Let's see. Okay, I think we're good. Ooh, okay. Oh yeah, another mod that I added was a backup manager. That way we have backups of this world, just in case something like that does go south and we lose our entire world. So yeah, we should be fine now though, so we can continue on with what I was planning on doing. Alright, so now I want to set up a tank, and I think I'm gonna do a little 3x3. Let's make it right here. Here we go, and then we'll just go up and use as many as we can. It looks like we're going to be a little bit short, but that's all right. So that is 144 buckets. That seems pretty nice. Now to pull the lava out of the cauldrons, we're going to need a mechanical pump. Depending on which direction that the pump is facing, it can move liquids in that direction. So for example, if I get some pipes right here, it will actually pull lava into the tank, as soon as we give it some power. Here we go, and we should see lava beginning to fill in here, and it is nice. We already have 2 buckets. That's pretty nice. It is going to be a little bit slow, but for something like this where it kind of fills slowly anyway, we really don't need it to be all that fast. And now I believe with a fluid hatch, we can actually just right click it and yeah, pull lava out from the tank. Oh, ground's on fire back here. Hold on, here we go. Let's clean that up. And of course, if we have extra lava, we can just put it right back in the tank. And now that we have a refueling system for our vehicle, I want to begin working on a massive upgrade for my character. And that's going to be finally making a jetpack. To make the jetpack is a little bit complicated. We're going to need to use the mechanical crafters, and we're going to need a ton of brass, as well as a steam engine. Now the steam engine, yeah, as you can see, it has a lot of steps on it. It requires a brass sheet, but overall not too complicated, especially if we're only going to be making just one of them, at least for right now. Everything else here is pretty simple, so really I'm just going to need to get all of the materials grinded up for this, and then it should be pretty easy to make. Alright, I'm done gathering all of the ingredients needed for my jetpack. Now it's time to assemble it. So we needed to take down a few of the mechanical crafters. Otherwise, I think you can use a crafter slot cover. These are pretty easy to make. They're just 3 brass nuggets, but for right now, I'm just going to take it down. So let's put the steam engine in the middle. Let's see if I have this right, actually. Yep, okay. Fans on the sides. Cogs, 1, 2, 3, brass ingots in sort of a striped line like that, and then just need 1 more andesite alloy, and that should begin to craft very slowly. And here we have the first jetpack of the world. Nice. So the jetpack requires 2 things. It needs a fuel as well as water. Sadly, lava does not work for this as far as I know, but we can use coal. So if I hold the jetpack in my offhand and then just have coal in my main hand, if we throw it, it'll actually get consumed into the jetpack. So you can see there it has 512 fuel, and we still need some water. I think we can just right click it to, oh, we actually can't. I thought we could right click it on the water, maybe shift right click. No. So I guess we need the water bucket. Oops, we throw it. Yep. Okay, so it's the same as the fuel. Here we go. So now if I go ahead and equip it and hold down space, we can finally fly. Nice. So it doesn't go up very far, but it is definitely enough to make a difference. You can go up and down pretty quickly. Flying forward is very fast as well, actually. And while you're using a jetpack, I definitely recommend making the slime boots. These will basically negate or at least reduce the fall damage that you take. So if we go ahead and hop down, it looks like it fully negates it from this height at least. Yeah, nice. You also gain a little bit of inertia, so you fly a little bit faster if you sort of bounce off of the ground like this. This is going to be super useful for exploration. Oh, I was curious if it used the lava, and I thought that it didn't, but actually it does work. Oh, that's so nifty. Okay, we're definitely going to be using lava for this. Also, I just realized my iron helmet has 1 durability left. Yeah, I'm going to just make a diamond helmet. It's going to use all of our diamonds, but we should get more pretty soon. So now we're looking pretty good, I guess. We definitely have a little bit of a odd assortment of armor on now, though. Alright, and now that some of our preparations are complete, it's finally time to actually get started on collecting the material for the helicopter known as the Dragonfly. So let's see how bad this material list is going to be. It's also taking quite a while to get the schematic in here. Alright, here we go, and we can get it placed in the world. Oh, I forget how big this thing actually is. It's mostly due to the wingspan, but it definitely, yeah, it's going to require a lot of space to build. Funnily enough, I already expanded the platform, but it looks like I'm going to have to do it a little bit further out. Alright, and here's a little bit of a sneak peek of it so far. It looks like it's well aligned now. Alright, don't want to spoil too much. If we put this inside of the schematic cannon, then we grab our clipboard and put it inside of the schematic cannon up in this top slot here. We'll get our checklist, and I'm kind of dreading this. Okay. It doesn't look too bad. 279 copycat panels. Oh, we're gonna need so much zinc for this. 131 concrete panels, orange concrete panels. Oh man. It's so much concrete. It's time to start the grind and find out exactly what we need for this, and hopefully gather everything up. Hopefully this isn't going to take too long, but I already know it's going to be like a week, so... The things I do for cool vehicles. Let's roll that montage. All right, so after about 4 or 5 hours of grinding, I finally have all of the materials ready. Honestly, it didn't take me as long as I thought it would, but man, it was definitely a lot. So basically everything fit inside of just like 1.5 double chests, so really not too bad overall. I think I might need to put the honey glue in as well. So if we take a look at the material list here, let's update that. Make sure we got everything inside. Oh, we need to go and grab the kinetic battery. This is currently just charging at this random water wheel. It should be fine with only 90. It actually, the system will recharge it over time. So it's not a huge deal. So let's get that inside as well. Re-update the checklist. And that is everything. Oh, there's so many blocks in here. But I think I am actually ready to get started with this. I don't think I need to do anything here, right? I just press play. Let's do it. All right, so it finished, but it isn't done, if that makes sense. For some reason, it only did the main body and not any of the physics entities that were attached to it. In my creative world, it actually like copied over and pasted in with the others as well. So, I'm wondering if that's some sort of issue with this system. Yeah, it didn't even do the propeller wings down here. So this is my creative test world, and this is actually one that was pasted in, which means that, I don't know, something went wrong. Maybe it's with the survival version. So this one over here is the original, and the one that was over there, which is just out of render distance, right there, is a copy. And if I right click this, you see everything there. And then if I go to print it, it prints everything. So I'm not entirely sure what happened here. Okay, so I think I have it figured out now. Unfortunately though, it does mean I have a few more things to grind up for. I was wondering why I didn't have to craft any propeller bearings, but I also didn't think too much about it. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Oh man, I can be such a derp sometimes. Okay, so I do have it pasted in. The issue, I believe, was that I copied it while it was still a physics entity, which means that it wasn't in the world, which I didn't have any problems with the mining bore, but I don't think it had any. I guess it has one other physics part, but I guess maybe because this one has so many, because it has like the wings, the propellers, both of the tail parts. Maybe it got a little bit too complicated for the schematic. In any case though, I think it's back to the grind. I have a few things to gather up. Really shouldn't be too bad though. Oh man, I'll be back. Alright, so now it is done. Oh man, hopefully it works this time. I've already gone ahead and I glued it together as one thing. Hopefully that doesn't break anything. I will cry if it doesn't work this time. So let's go ahead and get our physics assembler on here. Put it together. Nothing flew off, so that's a good sign. Alright. Alright, so probably the best way to test this out is to actually get it running. So if we break in right here, this should probably, by the way, let's see here. Yeah, right here. Yep, that should let us break in here. This should probably be a door, but it's fine. We also have a ton of extra copycat blocks back here, by the way. This is probably not a good idea because it will add some weight, so I'll probably break some of these. It kind of depends on how it works in this world. That's broken, but it looks fine, I think. I'm not sure. Anyway, so to get this thing started, we're gonna need a couple of things. The first thing, of course, is to provide the steam engine with some water. And it does look like the steam engine assembled correctly. That's good. So we just want to waterlog the mechanical pump first. Then we can get water right here underneath of this redstone link. And that will actually make this an infinite source in between. Next up, we'll need a little bit of fuel. And you fuel it right here above the legs on the right side of it. And we just put some blocks in. I should probably add some ladders here. This is my first time testing this in survival, by the way, so we'll probably have a few things that we need to change here and there, but it should be fine. So we have a couple of buckets of lava in there. That should run it for 18 minutes. All right, so the next thing I'm thinking, right click these prop bearings probably. I don't know. I don't think this is necessary, but just in case. All right. It always makes me a little bit nervous. This mod is really stable, by the way. But I have a lot of extra mods that I don't know how well they work together with this. All right, so now I need to grab my battery again because it actually placed it down without any charge in it, which is a little bit unfortunate, but that's all right. So we go ahead and we place the battery right here. And yeah, the brown side should be facing the front of the ship. And we'll get the... Oh, interesting. It's actually out of power. Okay. Maybe you need Silk Touch, or maybe you just can't pick it up with the charge. I guess I didn't realize this before. So that is an issue with this system. So we have no way to really jumpstart it now. I guess we'll just have to maybe put a hand crank here. All right, so we'll probably want to reduce the speed of the rotation speed controller. It might not need it though. If we hit this clutch, I think if it's off, the rest of the system is off, so it won't actually activate. Let's test that theory out. Okay, maybe let's activate that. Still overstressed. So let's try 32 there. Oh, still okay. Actually, let's try 32 with it flipped. All right, I'm not the biggest fan of this solution, but it should work. Yeah, here we go. So we have a red portable engine here, and that should jumpstart the system just fine. In fact, if I move it back a little bit, right here, that should also work. But it's not charging the battery. Interesting. All right, so for your first jump start, it looks like you do need to put an engine right here. There's an encased chain drive there by default. You just need to remove it and put a engine there or a water wheel or something, just some way to get power into the battery. So now that the battery has a little bit of juice, I can go ahead and place the encased chain drive back down there. And if we give the battery a little bit of power, it should begin to spin it. Ah, okay, I think I figured out something that went wrong. So this happened to me with the mining bore as well. The steam engine didn't actually hook up properly. And we actually have two on this one. Hopefully that's not a load bearing one. Here we go, there we go. So it should theoretically work now. I've just been kind of taking a look at the system and everything, and just letting this battery charge up. When the battery is charging, it impacts your stress capacity a little bit. So while it's charging, it takes 2048 stress units, which is definitely a little bit of a strain on the system. It should be able to handle it. I'm also going through and adding signs with a few of these things, mostly for me in the future, but I think I might end up uploading this as a schematic. So I definitely want people to know how this thing works. The control system is pretty simple, but I might actually end up writing a book for this entire thing. All right, and the battery is just about full. Here we go. And we can now break this engine. Technically, you shouldn't have to wait for it to fill up. I think the reason it wasn't working a little bit ago was because the steam engines weren't properly hooked up. So let's give this thing another test. We'll go ahead and put that there. So this is the system clutch. Basically what this does is it turns off everything except for the pumps. So the water pump as well as the lava pump. Those will actually stay on and powered. This just turns off the propellers, the wings, the tail, all of that. And the reason that we have this is so that when you're starting it, it doesn't get overstressed, kind of like how we were just dealing with. I'm going to leave this at 32 right now for our first sort of go here. We'll put the button back here, and we should be able to right-click the... Okay, good. Immediately running into the overstressed thing again. All right, so I'm just putting the engine back down, and hopefully that will let this thing run. I just need to get it tested so we actually know if it's working or not. All right, so it looks like it's working. That's good. Let's see. I'm gonna pop into free cam. Sadly, you can't go through some of these things. Like it just collides like that. So I've cleared out a few of the things that were back here as well, by the way. I had an old thrust system back here still that I kind of forgot to take out. Okay, so it looks like this water pump is working now. That was the main issue. We were just not getting any water into this thing. Okay, so we're currently at 2048. That means we're in passive status. And I think I might have been testing this thing for so long that we already ran out of fuel. So I'm going to run back and forth here a little bit and refuel. I would like to fly it over to the station, but we need to at least test this out a little bit here. And I'm going to do something that I've been meaning to do for quite a while now, and that's crafting a tank upgrade for my backpack. And then we're going to also upgrade it into the pump upgrade. All right, and I also decided to make a second backpack for this because I forgot that you actually need... Oh, I also need to upgrade this. You need the tank upgrade and the pump upgrade. I already have a couple of upgrades on this backpack, so I didn't really want to like remove my stack upgrade, for example. Here we go. Now it's an iron backpack. And if we go ahead and right click this, we can put the tank upgrade in, and you'll notice that some of the slots get converted into a fluid tank. And then we can put the pump upgrade inside of here. So this has input or output mode. And basically what will happen is, I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work with this kind of tank. Let's just try it. Put it right here. Yep, you can see at the top there, it begins to fill up. This is a really, really powerful, like, sort of method here, because you don't actually need a mechanical pump with, like, how we did over here. it'll just sap it right out of the tank. And then when that's done, we can go ahead and pick it up. It's in the carry-on. It's a little bit weird. Sometimes it'll do that. But we have a specific place in the Dragonfly here where we can place a backpack tank if we put it right here. And then we right-click, put to output. That will begin to fill up this with our lava. Nice. So this has 24 buckets, and we're able to carry 72. So we are going to need to make a couple of trips. All right, so before we give this thing a test, I just wanted to talk about the actual speed controller. So this kind of controls the entire system. Basically, you want this in the range between 128 and 144. I found 144 is pretty good. It's pretty fast. Obviously, it's going to consume a little bit more fuel. I've also found that it can be a little more front heavy, I guess you could say. It'll try to basically go downwards and nosedive a little bit more often, but you'll definitely get a lot of speed with it. And then on the lower end, 128, I found is pretty balanced. Whatever you think works the best for you is the best that works for you. So we're going to go ahead and put some of these back on. We leave that space open for our back tank. We're full up on fuel. And I think we're just about ready to begin. Why is there coal there? Oh, because I broke the engine. All right. Okay, so let's talk about the controls for this. I can go ahead and shift right click and it shows everything here. W, that will move you forward, of course. S will move you backwards. A is left, D is right. Space will make you go faster, essentially. It speeds up the rotors. And then the opposite of that is the left shift will slow down the rotors. And I have a redstone accumulator with this, which means that the longer that you hold it down, it's basically going to stay at that level, if that makes sense. So for example, if I hold space down for 3 seconds, the speed will be at 3. And then if I want to slow it back down, you just hold down left shift, speed it back up, you hold the space until you're at just the right speed that you want to do. It'll make more sense when we're actually in flight. Okay, so speaking of flight, I think we need to now... Oh, I don't know. Maybe we wait for this battery to finish charging. It should be fine, like I said. But you never know sometimes. Here we go. We'll flip the system on. And we can go into third person here. So now when I hit space, I'm holding down space right now. We should see the wings spinning up here. I'm actually a little bit surprised that it's not. It might need a little more testing here. Yeah, it's definitely not that. Alright, I did manage to get it moving, however, now it's in the water. Oh man. So one of the issues was that the mechanical bearings, I think they're called, the swivel bearings in each of the wings, they actually didn't activate for some reason. So I just went in and activated them. Now I didn't realize that my system was at full speed, so it just kind of tipped over and down into the water. Oh, it's on now. Alright. I don't know if it's going to be able to move up from here. Because I think we're only moving at 64 right now. Let's try to increase that maybe. 128. That overstressed it. Interesting. Alright, I think I fixed a few issues that I was having here. I had accidentally flipped around some of the mechanical pumps leading into the blaze burners. So it was, yeah, only running at power level 1 when it should be at power level 2. Another thing, let's see here. Let's get the winch off. Good. I had also reversed the entire system. So the wings were pushing me down, or the propellers were pushing me down. Let's see what else here. Should be able to get up to 128 now. Here we go. Oh, it's flying. Okay, up and down is working, but left and right is not. Uh-oh. So you'll notice that the tail kind of moves around. Same with the propellers, or not the propellers, the flaps on the wings. Those are, or should technically be, automatic. You can see, like, right there, the flaps are moving. They basically try to keep you as even as possible. Here we go. This is our first flight, actually. Oh. Oh, I think it's just the audio. Nice. My first time testing it with distant horizons as well. Wow, it looks so cool. Okay, I need to figure out left and right. Yeah, so the wing, or not the wing, the tail on the back, that's sort of vertical, that should be moving left and right. Let me figure that issue out, and then we can come back. Uh-oh, that was not smart. Huh. I don't know how to save that. Okay, so at some point it got unglued. This is definitely not the best place to be trying to glue this back together. Uh-oh. That's not good. So the question is, how do you land a plane that has no steering? This is gonna be interesting. Like a glove. Alright, so I think I got it back together. Oh man, this has been a bit of a disaster. But honestly, not too bad. But yeah, it is working now. So as you can see, it goes left and right. Not too bad. Hopefully it's working now. I'm gonna try to get back home. Oh, and of course we hit the cobblestone pillar. Oh no. We should be able to live this. Uh-oh. Oh man, just unflipped it. This is the best running that I've had it so far. Oh man, I got it really stuck over in a swamp, by the way. Yeah, it kept flipping over, but it seems pretty good now. Yeah, it's so cool. Oh, let me turn the shaders back on as well. Yeah, that's so nice. Oh, definitely worth the pain, that's for sure. You might notice that there's quite a few different panels and stuff missing on it. I've been doing a lot of like testing and trying to figure out a good way to flip it back over. And I found that just having one blade rotate the opposite direction is definitely a good way to like reverse it. But yeah, so we are flying now. I passed the base, but we can turn and everything. I want to try to get it to go a little bit faster as well, but I'm a little bit scared. By the way, this thing does turn pretty sharp for like a plane or a helicopter. It's slow compared to like a regular vehicle, but really not too bad overall. I've also noticed with the version in survival, I have to hold W a lot more for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. It seems like the back is a little heavier. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, especially when we're turning. But man, it's so cool. I have no idea how I'm going to land this thing or where I'm going to land it. I'm going to try to figure that out, though. Probably not right next to my base because that's going to be pretty tough, but we can try it. No, I'm going to land in the water. Yeah, I've been having so many issues with this thing that I haven't even really had time to talk about it. So it uses a sort of a VTOL system, which means vertical takeoff lift, I think. Um, Basically, you can kind of see the blades. I'm pressing W every once in a while, and the blades themselves are like moving slightly forwards, or we can also go backwards, like that. Now the fin isn't really set up to go backwards though, I've found. I definitely need to work on that system. But man, it's looking so cool. Yeah, you can kind of tell why I called it the Dragonfly as well, because it's very much like a dragonfly, but it's also kind of dragon-like as well. Especially with the way that the tail end turns. Alright, but unfortunately I did take a look at the length of this episode, and it's been going on for way too long, so I think it's about time that I wrap up this episode. Obviously, I have a few repairs to make, as well as a few adjustments, I think. Well, looking at the recordings, I actually saw that some of these sails were actually attached to the gyroscope, to the helicopter blades here, which definitely isn't supposed to happen. They're supposed to stay flat on this front side here. I also want to redecorate the interior of the cockpit because it is a little bit basic. I want to get like a bed in here and a few other amenities just so that we can do basically anything that we need on the fly. So I think I'm going to end things there for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.